Okay, so in this video, we're going to be talking about rolling motion and conservation of energy with rotation. So I'm going to start with rolling motion. And in rolling motion, if we just imagine a wheel and it's rotating with some angular velocity omega, and we look at the center of the wheel, let's say it's a uniform wheel on the ground, then there's going to be some velocity of the center of mass of the wheel, where v sub cm is the so-called translational velocity of the center of mass. And so the question then is, what is VCM in terms of omega, the angular velocity, and r, the radius of the wheel? So in order to figure this out, well, we have to figure, well, how far would it go in some amount of time? So that brings us to this idea of our arc length. Say, let's call some length of this arc S. So S is our arc length. And so the wheel will have traveled some distance S in a time t. And so more specifically, we could write that the velocity of the center of mass, VCM, is equal to ds dt, the time rate change of that arc length. And remember that arc length is just r times theta in radians, and so we can then write d dt of r theta. And r is a constant, so this becomes r times d theta dt, and d theta dt should look familiar, and that's going to be then just equal to omega. So that leads us to the result that the velocity of the center mass of the wheel is equal to the radius of the wheel times the angular speed of the wheel, which makes sense because a larger wheel with the same angular speed will go have a center of mass that goes faster than one that has a smaller radius. So another question that we ask with rolling motion is going to be, what is the total velocity? So the velocity of a point on the rim of a rolling wheel. So in this case, we have to look at our vectors. So we want to say that our total velocity for a point on the rim of the wheel, say if we look up here, some point here, P, well, it's going to have the translational velocity of the center of mass, plus it's going to have its tangential velocity of that particular point on the wheel, so v sub t. And so that's our general result, but we have to analyze this, recalling that both of these are vectors, so we'll be doing vector addition. And we want to recall that the tangential velocity of a point on the wheel, v sub t, is also equal to r omega, as is the center of mass velocity, as we just proved. So using these, we can now draw a picture of a wheel. So if I go ahead and I draw a larger wheel here, and again it's rolling with some omega, and here's the ground, then at the center, right, there's no tangential velocity, so that would just be v sub cm of that one point. We'd watch it move in space. But let's say that we were watching the point at the top up here. Well, at the top, every single point on this wheel has a v sub cm, the center of mass motion of the center of mass. So it would have v sub cm equal to the motion of the center of mass, plus its tangential velocity at this point, which is just going to be tangent to the circle, so v sub t. So at the top, we see that v sub t plus v sub cm, the vectors, is simply going to be equal to r omega plus r omega, because those vectors add together, and we end up with 2r omega, which is equal to 2 times the velocity of the center of mass at the top. So that's going to be at the very top of the motion. At the bottom, let's see what would happen. We would then have the velocity of the center of mass vector pointing towards the right, just like it is for every point, right? So this point has v sub cm also. This point has v sub cm. So they all have that translational velocity of the center of mass. And then the tangential velocity for this point on the wheel, because the spinning is in this direction, as indicated by omega, is actually going to point backwards. So there would be v sub t, the tangential velocity at that point. And so again, the magnitudes are both r omega. And so r omega and r omega, but now they're vector additions, so they point in opposite directions. So at the bottom, we get a very different result. The tangential velocity plus the center of mass velocity vectors is going to be equal to 0. So at the bottom, it's equal to 0 because the vectors cancel. You could do this at any point. So for example, if I take the side point here, I drew in the velocity of the center of mass, the translational velocity of the center of mass. I could draw in the tangential velocity at this point, right? Because that would be v sub t. And again, that's just coming from the tangential velocity and given the direction of the rolling motion. So on a side point, as I've drawn here, then I would have the velocity of the center of mass plus my tangential velocity. And so I would then end up actually with these being the sides of a right triangle. And so then the magnitude of v total would just be equal to r omega squared plus r omega squared. And that would then be the square root of 2 times r omega, which is the velocity of the center of mass. So really this applies to every point that we just add the two vectors. The most common ones that we think about though are the top, where it equals 2 times the velocity of the center of mass, and at the bottom, where the wheel touches the ground, the instantaneous velocity at that point is 0.